Hey guys, it is time for Star Wars Rebels Season 2.
Yes.
Now, I don't know if any of you guys have watched any shows along with us in the past, but if you haven't, let me welcome you to Blind Wave's channel, where we watch a bunch of different reaction stuff.
Yes.
We also do Let's Plays. We also do
all kinds of shit.
All kinds of shit. Mostly, though, we are known for doing Star Wars lightsaber fighting. Choreography. You can check out right here. This is Ferocity. It's an awesome fight. You can check out this, which is our trailer to Star Wars: The Old Republic: The Pit, which is still in development.
After
more on that
2
soon.
years.
And we're doing a special project featuring Kylo Ren from The Force Awakens, Episode 7. It's gonna be on this channel exclusively. Make sure you subscribe. You don't want to miss it. There's a mask. There's the lightsaber. It's gonna be fun. Here's a picture. Okay. So anyway, we're known for doing that kind of stuff. So Star Wars is especially close to our hearts.
Yes.
Shane, how do you feel about Star Wars?
I love Star Wars more than my wife and children.
You know, you would think that he's exaggerating. He's not. Specifically, let's talk about Rebels, because a lot of people think, like, well, that's just a kiddie show. Who gives a shit?
No. You know, I wish we did a reaction to the first season, but we didn't. We loved the Clone Wars, and we were very disappointed when it was prematurely taken off the air.
That did definitely suck, because I enjoyed watching those characters every week. That was awesome.
It was great extension of the Star Wars. You know, some of the stories in the Clone Wars were better than I think the movies.
And when he says that we did no reaction, he just means we didn't film it. We definitely had some reactions to that first season.
Yeah, we did.
I actually really like Ezra. I thought going into it might be like, it's this kid, and he's for the kids, and he's the way for kids to put themselves in the show, and I might not enjoy it as much. But I'm actually really starting to enjoy that character.
I like Ezra. I mean, initially when I was first watching it, it was hard going from the large scale of the Clone Wars to the small scale of the same characters, the same planet, same scenery.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I didn't think the art was especially incredible.
See, I mean, I can understand why you would say that. I think that's a product of just being on one planet, Lothal, which, even though it's a beautiful planet, it's only one planet. It's all we ever see, you know?
Yeah.
We're starting to see more and more stuff as the show gets more assets and that kind of thing. But I actually kind of really like the confined nature of being on the Ghosts, you know?
Yeah, that's all right. It reminds me of the original trilogy being on the Millennium Falcon, of course. I know that's what they're going for.
And I really enjoy and appreciate the work they put into making it very Ralph McQuarrie.
Yes.
Like right from his brush, almost to the point, or actually to the point where they'll even put his brush strokes like in the textures sometimes. I've lost Ralph McQuarrie, but his influence and his legacy stays on through these shows, and I really appreciate the design aspect initially of his, and then I appreciate people putting that into this show, so a whole new generation can, even if they don't understand what they're seeing, can appreciate it. What else we want to talk about Season 1 real quick? Obviously, it ended with Lord Vader showing up. Kind of disappointed the Inquisitor was killed.
Yeah, and I love Jason Isaacs playing his voice.
Yeah, he was great. But if that means that we're going to get James Earl Jones to voice Vader, it's a sacrifice I was willing to accept.
And what I think is incredible and a good way to continue the story of the Clone Wars was having Ashley Eckstein as the voice. But Ahsoka come back to obviously, and we've seen the trailer for Season 2, help jumpstart the Rebel Alliance.
Yeah, that was great. It was actually really interesting because, you know, when the Clone Wars debuted and Ahsoka was, you know, the main character, you had a bunch of, you know,
haters,
mainly guys on the internet being like, who's this girl? I don't want to see this girl. You know, I want to see Anakin fuck shit up. I don't like this girl shit. But by the time that she was put on the Rebels, everybody's like, Ahsoka!
Yeah.
I mean, I totally was, man. Girl power, baby.
Yeah, I learned to love her along the Clone Wars. She became a good character. She stopped calling him Sky Guy, and
she did stop doing that.
Calling her Snips.
He did stop calling her Snips. I get why they did it, but it's just.
What do you think of this Season 1 of Clone Wars versus Season 1 of Rebels?
Oh, Rebels definitely. I mean, Clone Wars. Don't get me wrong. Clone Wars was amazing. I loved it, but it really hit its stride around Season 3. You know, of delivering just solid stories and character and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
The one thing I will say that I really enjoy on Rebels, aside from Clone Wars, is that Clone Wars had that nature of not showing you things chronologically, and they would just jump around from story to story.
Yeah,
and you wouldn't really invest in like side characters or a particular storyline sometimes because, hey, we know that these guys survive. We know what happens.
Yeah.
It was only rare stuff like the Mortis trilogy that you really like have to sit and watch and wonder what's going to happen next. Because anything could happen in shows like that.
Yeah.
And Ahsoka brought that level of relativity where we didn't understand what was going to happen with her.
Well, yeah, you wonder what happened when it ended, but apparently she's still alive.
Yeah.
What, 15 years later or 14 years later.
Mm-hmm. But the crew of the Ghosts, aside from that, anything can happen to these guys, and I don't want anything to happen to them.
Yeah.
And then just one other thing to really talk about is the cast of the Clone Wars. I'm really glad that Ashley Eckstein is back, but she's already been part of the Star Wars family for a while. These new guys, though, Freddie Prinze Jr., I had no idea how big of a Star Wars fan he was until I started watching some behind-the-scenes stuff, some stuff at Celebration, That guy's a bigger Star Wars fan than anybody, except us. Or Sam Witwer. Which I'm so happy because he played a great Darth Maul. He was a great Star Killer.
He was great as Sidious in Force Unleashed.
Well, he was wonderful as Sidious. And
he's back as
Sidious. And he also did a role that I just watched, Kyle Newman's radio play that he did at Celebration called Smuggler's Bounty or Gambit or one of them. They did one of them like a couple years ago, last Celebration, and one here, and he played a role in that. And it's fun watching the Clone Wars actors, the Rebels actors, people like that play in the universe.
Yeah.
But it's especially fun when it's official canon, like Rebels is. And that's the big point to make. Canon stories every week with your family, watching Vader. I was going to say fuck shit up, but I hope he doesn't fuck too much shit up.
No, yeah.
Because I love these characters too. So, anyway, we talked a lot. We're going to get right into this Star Wars Season 2, Episode 1, or mini-movie, I think it's called, or whatever.
Siege of Lothal.
The Siege of Lothal. Let's
ready?
do it. 3, 2, 1. This is a nice, good reintroduction to our characters.
Yeah. Hope that wasn't Jabba's cargo.
Did you see Chopper in the background? Aww.
Yeah. Got that really white, A New Hope look.
Yeah.
I honestly don't know what else to do.
Perhaps that is the problem.
Vader.
Oh,
You lack ambition, Minister, when it comes to producing results. Rebels have fled, then we must draw them back. And if they are here, we must draw them out. We will squeeze Lothal until someone reveals the whereabouts of these traitors.
I'm sorry, my lord. I'm merely a public official. I have no experience with such brutal tactics.
You can explain that to Governor Tarkin when you visit him.
nice. I can't stop
I
smiling.
got the hand gestures down.
Yeah.
To account for your failure.
But I needed here. I couldn't possibly get away.
I got the cape down, too.
Don't worry, Minister. Vader and I will manage your absence.
Can't stop smiling.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be scary and, villainous, but I'm just like, yay.
Yeah.
She needs your help. We're always ready to help someone in need. This one's different.
Whoa.
Minister
What?
Tua, I will give you the list.
The Senate has not been dissolved yet.
No, not yet. Don't get me wrong. I like this development. I don't like traitors.
Oh, me either.
I don't like traitors
Of any kind.
of any kind. Even if they help out our heroes,
Yeah.
you're a traitor.
A classic villain isn't like a traitor either.
Exactly.
Resources to fuel it.
I hate traitors almost as much as I hate mutiny.
Two of you and ordered by
Watch Game of Thrones.
What is it?
Do you feel it? I feel so cold.
Vader's presence.
Yep.
You figure he never feels cold. He's probably always hot in here.
Probably.
It doesn't like you. I don't like you either.
We wanted men.
Distraction.
That 70s haircut, the blonga, the mustache.
Yeah, they're pretty good at doing that.
They didn't have to do that.
I like it. He's a stun bull.
We don't need to see his identification.
I always like to think that Chopper is always cussing.
That's what I was gonna say. Why don't they go to his house?
Yeah.
They were running from the police. We just hide here.
Well, they were fine last time they went. It's a very 70s effect right there. What the fuck are they shooting at?
They just
Look at
ran and
Storm-
started blasting
Look at
everything.
stormtroopers, man.
Do you feel it?
That's pretty cool. Well, they just kept running. He's like, sure.
Oh, shit. Hold on. I like the skinny blades. He's so tall.
Yeah, he's 6'8". Chopper's pushing one.
Whoa. Very Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah.
Woo. He's strong.
More machine now than man.
Your master has deceived you. You can become a Jedi.
They're like rivals.
Yeah. Took our move.
Oh, he's dead. Credits. Child's play.
I'm glad he's whooping him.
Yeah, it's like no challenge at all.
Yeah.
He's just an impenetrable wall. Oh. Ah!
Ah, ooga!
What? You don't push down Vader. Whoa!
I probably wonders why didn't Vader just throw it at them all.
Yeah.
He probably wanted to look cool.
Oh. Shit. Just Force Unleashed, you can just grab it out of the sky.
Yeah.
My lord, I will mobilize our fighters to pursue. That will be unnecessary, Commander. The rebels will not leave the planet yet. No, but I want you to burn it. The compassion of the rebels is a weakness. One we will exploit. Yes, my lord.
It's dark, dude. Lando!
Hello there, Captain Syndulla.
It's like Luke with Uncle.
Yeah,
Uncle
going
Owen.
back to, yep.
Did you understand what you're saying? You saw what we're up against. Look, I'm not afraid. That's what worries me.
You will.
Yep.
Looks like they figured it out.
It's too late, boys.
I was waiting for the one.
Yeah, me too, actually.
Signal is gone. They've jumped.
He did.
Yep.
Vader alone?
Phoenix Squadron to intercept.
That's not a good idea, bro.
You gotta be hard on your knees.
Yeah.
Like 10 feet.
I know. They kind of do that with the show sometimes, though. It's hard to really show the weight with the animation. Like Hera jumped off a second floor building earlier.
Yeah.
I understand Ezra doing it, but... So Vader taking on 10 ships.
Jeez. That's good to see Vader as a pilot.
Yeah, it really is.
Your pilots are outmatched, Commander.
What are you doing?
Getting involved.
She's a good pilot, too.
Not without me, you're not.
Not as good as Vader, though.
Let's go.
Yeah.
I like...
All right, if we'll tag along.
The more the merrier.
Hell yeah, bitch, let's go. Whoa!
That's a
You
Paul
never-
Walker
you
did that in
never
Fast
see-
and Furious.
Vader hits the Nas. Vin Diesel comes beside him.
Yeah.
We'll see you again.
I wonder if
Ahsoka and Vader are like really close here, Shane.
I wonder if Ahsoka starts to recognize him.
They're so close, Shane.
I know. Weird to think about.
What's strong with him? Katie, let's find out how strong.
How can I help?
Just remember your training.
I feel cold. I think I know who it is. After Lothal, I felt something. Katie did too. Fear. The anger. The hate. It's the symptom we face.
Oh shit!
Jeez Louise. That's a mind blower, man.
James Earl Jones just acknowledged Ahsoka.
Yeah.
Does she know?
Yeah, she knows. Obviously, she's lying. Shit.
Oh.
I know Sam Witwer plays
Yeah.
the Emperor.
Vader, have you dealt with the rebels in the Lothal system? Yes, Master. They are broken. And yet I sense in you something more to your victory. I believe the apprentice of Anakin Skywalker lives and is in league with these rebels. Are you certain? It was her. This is an opportunity we cannot let pass. Skywalker's apprentice could lead us to other lost Jedi, such as Kenobi. Perhaps, if he lives, be patient, my old friend. For now, dispatch another Inquisitor to hunt them down. As you wish, my master.
I like that you didn't see the Emperor.
Yeah.
That was cool. Before we get into breaking down the episode, I just want to tell you guys that in a couple days we'll do a question and answer video. So if you have any questions about the episode or anything you want to talk about,
Maybe Star Wars in general, actually.
well, it could be any. Yeah, it could be pretty much anything in general, but hopefully about what we just seen there. Just shoot down in the comments. We'll talk about it, mention you guys, and we'll get a little conversation going between us and our subscribers. So make sure you subscribe and like the video and comment down below. That being said, Shane, let's jump into that episode because that was pretty crazy.
That was an awesome episode.
For our normal subscribers, you'll probably notice that I use a little less of the actual reaction. We got stuff taken down a while ago, so we're just wanting to do like a kind of a new format. So I know a lot of people kind of just stop watching it after the reaction, but stick around because we'll have some cool stuff to talk about.
Yeah.
Just like any other TV show, okay, we know that Vader and Ahsoka have to interact at some point, but
Yeah.
it's probably going to be midway in the season or at the end. And,
Season
but,
4.
But this is episode 1.
Yep, season 2, episode 1.
Yeah, this is great. I did not expect it was going to happen so soon, and they both know it.
Yeah.
Now, okay, so Ahsoka, she knows, but she's not telling anybody. Why?
I don't know, maybe it's so personal to her, it's something that she doesn't even want to believe yet. How would it contribute for them to know the identity, really?
Well, I had a thought, like, maybe she doesn't want to talk about it in front of Ezra. Like, that was a Jedi. Jedi can become that.
Yeah.
You know? Maybe there's a matter there. Yeah, it could just be a personal thing, or, like, maybe she just doesn't even believe it. That's the thing. We don't know what's happened with Ahsoka. Did she know that Anakin survived the Clone Wars? I mean, obviously she did.
Well, I've read a lot behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was going to happen. I know she didn't know until, like, this episode.
This moment.
It's obvious in the episode, you know, with the information they give you, that she's lying about knowing the identity
I'm
of...
just saying, like, if it was me, if I was Ahsoka after the Clone Wars and Order 66, I would have done whatever I could to find out what happened to Anakin.
Yeah.
Right?
I know it's not canon anymore, but in the books, like, it was reported that he died on the Jedi Temple in episode 3.
Okay. I guess that would make sense if he was spotted there or something. And then let's talk a little bit about Vader himself. Well, first of all, let's get out of the way. Sam Witwer just kills it as the Emperor, right?
Yeah, he does.
I mean, he's perfect.
Oh, Vader.
I mean, he's almost so perfect that he's not even... He doesn't sound like Ian McDiarmid. He sounds like the Emperor. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But yeah, he does a great job. He always killed it with every impression he does, really.
Yeah, he
But,
does.
I like the guy, not because of how good he is at acting and all that stuff. I just like the guy. I like listening to hear him talk.
Yeah, his
about Star
podcasts
Wars.
are really great. He knows his Star Wars really well.
Yeah, he always shows up on Rebel Force Radio, which if you haven't checked out Rebel Force Radio, it's an awesome podcast. If you have like a long commute or something like that, put those on. They have really awesome commentaries for all the movies that Sam is in. and they're wonderful. I learned a lot. I thought I knew a lot about Star Wars. I learned more than I knew about Star Wars in those things.
Yeah.
Talking about Vader specifically, James Earl Jones, he doesn't sound exactly like Vader, but he does sound like. What am I trying to say here? I guess we're so used to listening to the...
Well, I think he speaks slightly quicker than he did in 4, 5, and 6.
Yeah.
In 3, I noticed he definitely talked even slower, I felt like.
Like, I mean, I understand that, look, this has been 30 years since the guy played the role pretty much, right?
Yeah.
He's going to sound different. And don't get me wrong, I'd rather have James Earl Jones do it badly than that, Mark Sloan guy do it perfectly. Chad Vader.
He was good, though.
He was great, yeah. He's awesome in The Force Unleashed, too, especially.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
But I'm happy that James is back because
definitely.
Just the joy of having James Earl Jones acknowledge Ahsoka, it kind of makes it more real than it ever has been before.
Yeah.
I mean, they're the same TV show, pretty much the same crew.
Yeah.
It's the same, canon or whatever, but...
It's the exact same canon.
Yeah, but there's something special about having that original actor talk about the apprentice of Anakin Skywalker. Not my apprentice.
That's great just because, I love the Clone Wars. I love the prequels. But this has that really old trilogy vibe.
It does.
And it legitimizes the prequel Clone Wars a little more. Because Clone Wars is a cartoon.
Yeah.
They do cartoony things.
True.
Yeah.
Well, so is this.
Yeah. But what I'm saying, I don't know, it didn't feel like it. It felt like that was Vader from the old trilogy talking about Ahsoka from the Clone Wars cartoon.
Yeah. That's
That's what was so cool about it.
And I loved showing him in his starfighter being able to take on 3 capital ships and an entire squadron by himself. It stretches it a little bit. Like, why not have... The only thing I didn't like about that little sequence was that the capital ships did nothing. Like, they don't have any guns, maybe, or...
Maybe they were ordered not to do anything.
I mean, I understand the fact that they're wanting shield generators, and that's why they didn't really have any shields there, or they probably had just crappy shields or something like that.
Yeah.
Because why could this one fighter take one out,
Another thing to note is only a couple times in a prequel trilogy, definitely in the beginning of Revenge of the Sith, do we see Anakin the amazing star pilot.
Mm-hmm.
And then we see a lot during the Clone Wars, which is awesome. And then you don't really see Vader the amazing pilot too much. You see him being a leader in Episode 4. And he doesn't even pilot anything else.
Yeah.
The rest of the trilogy.
Yeah, but that moment when he turns his TIE fighter around, or his advanced TIE fighter, around and skids it through space, that was so cool.
That was incredible to see.
I mean, that reminds me of me playing with my X-Wing and TIE fighters and having them do all these cool things, run through the kitchen, where I was at a lot. Let's dive a little bit deeper into the episode. Obviously, we want to talk about Ahsoka and Vader all day, but send in your questions and comments and theories and all that kind of stuff, and we'll talk about it more in the Q&A video.
Okay. There's so many callbacks to the original trilogy, especially Episode 4. Dressing up as a stormtrooper.
Yeah.
Ezra riding off to Tarkin Town and living on fire. I had kind of the same, you hear the string, the violin type music. Yeah. As he's driving there. Him saying, "I'm not afraid." Also, another thing, if this wasn't a kid's show, they probably would have massacred that town. I wrote the same exact thing when you're talking about Tarkin Town. They burnt Uncle Owen and Beru. I have to assume alive. They drug him out, very Nazi SS style, you know? But they're oh, we took him all prisoner. Yeah, I know. I was now they're just going to be really sad. They didn't kill anyone? Yeah, I was But you're right. It is a kid show, but honestly, I mean, kids can take that kind of stuff. I did when I was a kid, Took it like a man. Yeah. Hurt him. Man-childs. Man-children. Talking about Lando, I wrote one thing, we got James Earl Jones and Billy D. Williams in the same episode. Yeah. That's just great right there. That is cool. When they introduced Lando, I kind of thought, okay, it's really cool to have him in here, but don't use him too much. You don't want it to be Lando and his rebel friends, Yeah. You don't want to be I want these characters to stay the focus. But it was cool seeing him in there. Yeah. Reaching out to him. You can tell how desperate they are, especially with Kanan, not wanting to really hang out with them. What about the conflicts on the Ghost crew? Obviously they don't all want to join the Rebel Alliance. Yeah, I really, really liked the scene with Kanan talking about how he doesn't want to be fighting another war. He's already fought a war, and he dealt with the consequences then. Yeah, that was cool. He just wants that was a good character moment. Yeah. I mean, he just wants to help people. Yeah. Which is what a Jedi should be. They shouldn't be generals. I mean, that's what took them down. Yeah. So I really enjoy what they're saying with that. And, I like the dynamic between Kanan and Ezra, of course. It's very Anakin and Ahsoka. So does that make Ahsoka now? Is she more like Obi-Wan, maybe? From what I understand, like she has a white lightsaber. I know that.
2 of them, yeah.
And
that's to show that she's not a Jedi anymore. She's not a Sith.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, she's definitely more of a Jedi.
But I don't know if she's like really gung ho about what Jedi are anymore. I think
probably not. Her last experience with them was how they didn't believe her.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, they threw her to the mercy of Tarkin in the court.
Yeah,
right?
And that was just ridiculous. I love that scene though, like when it's like the fugitive when she was on the rain. You know what I mean?
That was great. And she goes down to
1313, which got canceled.
1313. I really like Ezra's new scars he has from the last episode. That was pretty cool.
I'm about to get some new scars there.
You're gonna get some new scars. They were talking about at the end there, like, this is our fault that Tarkin Town was, destroyed.
I can't remember.
And Canon was said, like, well, that's the cost, or that's the consequence of what we do.
Yeah.
I don't follow that line of logic that much. Like, look, it was not your choice to go and hurt, or I would say kill those people, but
they did it because of them.
It was a retaliation, but that's not your choice to do that. That's a villain's choice to do that. You can't blame yourself for those things. That doesn't mean you're not doing the right thing.
Yeah, but if they didn't do anything, then they didn't die, so never mind.
Yeah.
If they all would have died.
Well, I'm just saying, like, those prisoners are going to be like, oh, those damn rebels for doing this to us.
They might think that
while the Imperials are chaining them up.
It's probably all over the hall. It's probably all over the hall in that.
Well, those people they're not going to know.
Why? Because they live in Tarkin Town. They don't have internet.
They live in Tarkin Town, but they were taken. It's not like the damn rebels are taking us while stormtroopers are grabbing them. Damn these rebels.
Good point.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not. This isn't. If I was there and I was talking to Ezra, I'd say, look, this isn't on your shoulders. What you're doing is helping people. What they're doing is trying to suppress
he's still really pessimistic about everything.
Yeah, I understand, but he needs to lose that. He needs to lose that pessimism, get some optimism.
I don't think he has a reason to. You know what I mean? He saw, like,
Train
the
to be a
Jedi
Jedi.
when there was 10,000 of them, you know what I mean, lose, and all there is him.
I understand. I'm just saying, I never really quite like the reasoning when people say that kind of stuff.
It depends which side I'm on.
Like, if I don't think Ezra or Kanan, like, well, we gotta blame ourselves for what happened here.
Yeah.
It's like, look, you didn't do this. Vader and the Empire did this.
Yeah.
There's no blame to be thrown on your shoulders. We had a new rebel character named General Zotto or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
I wonder if that's gonna be like a part of the main cast now.
I don't know.
Are they gonna stick around with that core element of rebels, or? I mean, they're not calling it the Rebel Alliance. I have to assume that means that Ahsoka is probably going to be helping all these pockets of resistance show up, and then they.
Because the Force Unleashed didn't happen yet.
Yeah. And we do have an apprentice, and we do have Sam Witwer in the show.
Yeah, we do.
But we don't have Force Unleashed. Did you notice in the lightsaber battle, which I thought was pretty great? What do you think about the lightsaber battle in general?
No, I thought it was very old trilogy-ish. There's a few. I mean, when I was watching it as a choreographer, I'm thinking, well, Vader could have killed him there. Vader could have killed him there. I mean, he held him up in the air and he could have just stabbed him. But he just threw him.
I did feel like they were trying to go more for like homage and a sense of tone more than they were about a sense of danger. Does that make sense?
Like efficient killing.
Like, I never felt like anybody was in danger, really.
Well, I felt danger. I just didn't feel like a couple moves in. I didn't feel like Vader was trying to kill them.
Yeah.
Efficiently.
I mean, maybe he was putting up just enough effort to make them really run.
That way they can relate him to the Rebel Alliance.
Take him back to the Alliance. Yeah, that makes sense. Did you notice while they were fighting? Usually the show is really good, especially in animation, of casting light from the lightsabers.
Yeah.
On Vader, his saber cast almost no light on him, and he was in complete darkness. I really like that choice.
I didn't even notice.
Yeah, that's something I just, because the thing about doing lightsabers in 2D, like what we do, like unless you have like actual light on the saber to cast on the people, then you have to do it digitally and it never looks good. When you do it in 3D, you can just throw a light onto a surface and it's going to reflect on everything perfectly. It takes almost no effort. So I noticed that they had to have gone in and say, hey, no light reflecting on Vader.
Yeah.
It had to have been a actual choice they made for that tone. So I caught that. I just thought that was like a little interesting tidbit.
And then going back to Vader and Palpatine at the end. Vader, tell him to get out, and you see Vader get on his knee, and he only gets on his knees for one guy.
I like that he didn't get on his knee until everybody left and closed the door and don't look in.
Yeah,
Callus is like,
obviously he wants to find Kenobi.
Yeah, that was really interesting.
Yeah,
like maybe it's Kenobi, but that's the cool thing about Vader's mask is that you can't tell what he's thinking, but it gives you ample opportunity to guess what he's thinking.
Yeah, sometimes I feel like, I can feel what he's thinking.
Yeah, but
I can read on his face even as
But possible. I mean, that's you just, trying to relate with a character that by nature of his mask is unrelatable,
Yeah.
But even like this, because this is animation, every single twitch of his shoulders or change of his head is a thing.
It's done with meaning.
Yeah, it's an acting choice. That's why, to compare that to Ahsoka not telling them that it's Anakin Skywalker, and they do the subtle eye movements, like, that's not an actor just making a random choice.
Mm-hmm.
That's an animator saying, we have to throw in that she is being like this.
Yeah.
So that is an interesting thing. But what do you think Vader's truly feeling? I mean, he talks about, when he talked about Luke Skywalker with the Emperor, you could kind of relate to him that he's gonna, like, I'm gonna find this kid. I'm not gonna kill him. I might turn him, but I'm gonna use him.
Well, I might know a little bit because I kind of read some Dave Filoni interviews.
Okay.
Vader sees Ahsoka. I mean, he kind of wants her dead because she's one of the big things that reminds Vader of Anakin Skywalker.
Yeah.
And connects to his past, something he wants to completely forget about.
Okay.
And she's just a walking, talking, fighting reminder.
Well, I would just think that, the Jedi failed Ahsoka, just like Vader thinks they failed him and the galaxy.
Yeah.
So if she's not 100% a Jedi like that anymore, I would figure that he might have, like, a feeling of, like, she knows kind of what I've been through by having the Jedi do that to me.
I don't know if he feels that way.
I mean, because he talked about keep them alive, not kill them. If he just wanted to kill them, why didn't he have them just shot down? He specifically said, bring them to me alive. And he didn't do that until after he realized it was Ahsoka.
Yeah. I guess I can imagine that he wants to kill her himself. He wants to see her with his own eyes.
Yeah, maybe. It's interesting, though.
I mean, it was also interesting that he didn't know that she was alive this whole time either.
I mean...
Figured he would have Googled her or something.
Yeah, right?
You know what I'm saying? Probably have to use his pinkies because his hands are still...
Yeah. I wonder if we'll ever hear the name Fulcrum ever again. Now that we know that it's Ahsoka, are they just going to drop that? Or...
Probably.
We'll see. I did talk about how I thought the dynamic between those three Jedi, Ezra, Kanan, and Ahsoka, matches almost perfectly a dynamic between Ahsoka, Anakin, and Obi-Wan. Like, Obi-Wan never really had any direct training or interaction with Ezra. Because one of the things I had thought was that...
You mean with Ahsoka?
Yeah, with Ahsoka.
A couple times they were on missions by themselves.
There were a couple of times, but you never really felt like she was like... Because this is one of the things I thought of. Like, last season, Kanan was doubting himself, and he wanted to find another Jedi to train Ezra. That's why they tried to go find Luminara.
Yeah.
So they were trying to find Luminara
She
because
was
he
dead.
felt... Well, yeah, but he felt that if he could have Luminara train him, then he wouldn't have to worry about it. So I kind of felt like maybe he's going to push out on Ahsoka, but it seems like that's not the case.
I don't think it will be because they mentioned that Ahsoka won't be showing up every episode.
Well, I'm talking about his character motivation, not what this is,
Yeah, yeah.
I'm talking about the character motivation. So
I
I thought maybe that he would try to do that, but because he's not, it kind of mirrors the relationship that Obi-Wan and Ahsoka had. Like,
Yeah.
it's kind of like a mentor, and she's there to help you out if you need it.
Yeah.
But this guy is taking care of it.
Yeah.
If you were a rebel in this universe, wouldn't you carry around as many disguises as you can? When they're running,
I'd do that now.
I'm gonna say when they're running from the Imperials, they're just like wearing the same clothes and stuff like that. I'd have a pack with me with some different shirts or something. Remember in the Clone Wars they had those solid state hollows that like looked like a hologram, like real person.
Oh yeah.
It was also they did it with Proxy in the Force Unleashed.
And that's I guess that's like high really expensive military grade technology, and the rebels are just like using whatever they can.
Yeah, I suppose
they're poorly funded.
I'm just saying, if that's the first thing I'd steal, and just have a bunch of those.
Yeah.
Just make guys look like me. Like I don't want to touch that guy.
Yeah.
Or something. I don't know.
Get something to make you look like skinny.
The stormtroopers come by, and I'm like, "Hey guys," and I turn.
I get something to make me look more white. Make my dad proud.
I can't leave that in. One of the things in animation and shows like this is that things don't truly feel like they have any kind of weight behind them. Hera can just jump off a 2-story building and be fine.
Yeah.
I understand Ezra doing it and Kanan doing it, anybody with the Force doing it, and even Zeb to a point, because he's, more alien physique and that kind of stuff. But that was one thing about Season 1 that I wish wasn't there, was when Sabine is doing all of her aerobics and jumping up 2 stories and doing these giant flips over stormtroopers' heads. I don't like it. It doesn't have... That's not Star Wars to me. You don't do that kind of thing. Han runs... he doesn't jump and do all these acrobats. Yeah, he's awesome.
Luke does, and that
yeah, but he's that's the Force. Sabine can't do that.
Good point.
She's a Mando. I understand her using her jump pack and stuff, but she's doing the finale of last season. She's like jumping, doing like
She's
10
not a man.
somersaults and
She's not
stuff
a
like
true
that.
man, though. She's a woman, though, for one thing.
All right, that just takes me out of the episode a lot.
I didn't notice it that much because to me, I'm watching a cartoon, and it's nice for them to do things for kids. It's
No
not like they're
reason-
doing forced unleash stuff.
No, but I mean, you even
But
have.
I would be
you
behind
even,
that.
You even have, but for Force people, not for anybody else. I mean, you never saw Star Killer's chick jumping around, doing 8 flips and stuff like that. Another thing, like the pilots jumping like 10 feet down into their cockpits.
Yeah,
Like,
you would
that's-
develop patellar tendonitis.
Yeah, like that just.
Like me.
I mean, Luke. You know, they brought up those little stairs that they do at Walmart when they get something high off the shelf. You know what I'm saying? You have to go up them.
I think it solves the problem of time.
No, I understand that, but don't ruin the levity you have in an episode or in a scene by showing what's just a really good pilot like Hera jumping 2,
Yeah.
stories down and just being fine. I mean, at least make her roll. Damn, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
Or fall into a haystack like Assassin's Creed. Another thing, blockades in the Star Wars universe. This is one thing, in episode 1, they were surrounding the planet like a ring. Like, fucking go to the pole, go out that way. Is there a reason you can't do that? I mean, you got 360 degrees. You have an infinite amount of ways to get off planet. How can they blockade every single one?
I've always wondered that too.
Like she mentioned, like you have to get into orbit, and then we
Because
can
in
make
Mass Effect 3, when you're trying to escape Earth in the beginning,
yeah,
you do, and it's overwhelming by he hasn't played it, but the enemy forces.
yeah.
It's overwhelming, and they get off.
I'm just saying, like,
All you see is 3 or 4 Star Destroyers.
yeah, I only saw a couple there. Like, how are they covering the entire planet? Like, can't you just all right, let's go north for 2 hours and then just get in orbit and go?
Yeah.
But the planet has to be big, right?
Yeah, I
I
guess.
mean, the Star Destroyers are big. Don't get me wrong. They're not
I
that
just
big.
imagine like they had to be everywhere, and then you'd imagine like there'd be TIE fighters in between all that crap. But it'd be like hundreds of thousands.
It has to be like millions. I mean, think about how big Lothal has to be. It has to be comparable.
Well, I guess
to
they
Earth.
can sense. I mean, like sense. They can.
They can use their sensors and they can see things.
They
right?
know like where it's coming out, and they start to converge on that area.
Yeah, I understand that, but can they do that so quickly to get all the way to the other side of the world?
They have like every major quadrant, like north, south, east, and west.
Okay, I understand that, but
My hand looks huge.
and they did do that in the episode, right?
Yes.
We're doing that. That's what happens when you get that close. Now, they did do that in the episode. They converged when they saw it come out, right, and they tried to grab it. When they used their tractor beams, they had to get, like, so damn close to get to it. Like, if I got all the way out here, I could... First of all, they said the thing, like, we can get in the orbit, and then we can go into it. That's never happened before, right? They just get out of the atmosphere and go.
Yeah.
Right? So, I call shenanigans a little bit on blockades in the Star Wars universe, because there has to be a way where you can just, all right, so they're over here in America, I'm going to go to Africa and go out there.
I guess you have to have the fuel to get there.
If you need the fuel to go to another star system, you can't go over the other side of the world.
I don't know, dude.
Ridiculousness. Anyway, I call shenanigans. Fix that, Dave Filoni.
Well, it's always been like that.
I know, but it's just something I never... He can make up a reason. He's good at that. Remember that time where, like, George Lucas wanted a small ship that had a cloaking device, and Dave's like, George,
ship's too small. Don't have a cloaking device.
Don't have a cloaking device. And George's like, this one does. It's special. It's a special project. He had to throw in there, like, normally ships this size don't have cloaking devices.
Yeah, Anakin said that.
Anyway, so he can solve these problems. I think that Ahsoka looks more like actually Eckstein a little bit, too. Her eyes are a little smaller. The shape looks a little bit more like her. Not that I look at pictures of actual Eckstein all the time, but I do follow her universe on Twitter.
I do, too.
Yeah, so...
Her universe. Go there. Buy some stuff.
For your woman. Or for yourself.
There's a guy stuff on there.
Is there?
Yeah, there is.
There's a little bit. I like the designs of the girl stuff better. I just wish
they're chibi.
I wish the t-shirts wouldn't do this though on me. I mean, I look good in them.
Yeah, you do. You see your delts.
They got
interior and posterior.
Yeah, they got plus size for those plus size women. Anyway, that is all we have to say about Star Wars episode
Season 2, Episode 1, Siege of Lothal.
Of Rebels. So this isn't episode 1. This was like a mini movie, right? So when does episode 2 air? When's the next one? I don't think it's next week. Is it?
No, it's like in August.
Yeah, so we gotta wait a little bit. So to
leave that in the comments when it is.
Yeah, correct us. I don't know exactly when it is. Regardless, we're still gonna do that Q&A video where we can talk about everything that happened in this episode, anything that happened last season, in the Clone Wars, Star Wars in general, anything. And you can check out all of our other reactions and send out questions.
Well, if there's any like big demand for us to react to anything else Star Wars related during this Star Wars drought, then just let us know.
Yeah. So anyway, guys, that's everything for Rebels. Leave a comment down below for any question or anything you would like to see. You can, at the end of this video, check out our lightsaber fights, our trailers for Star Wars films, our reaction to the Force Awakens trailer, a whole bunch of different stuff. You can subscribe to our channel where you can check out reactions to other shows, Let's Plays, reviews, a bunch of stuff like that. I'm Eric.
I'm Shane.
All right, we'll see you guys whenever Rebels comes back. You will hit the button. Oh shit! Ah! Oh my gosh! Oh snap! Oh my gosh! It looks so good.